Hi everyone, welcome to Meatless Monday. Today we're going to be making eggplant stuff. I got this recipe from Aunt Mary. Now when she gave me the recipe, she used ground beef, but we're going to substitute these vegan griller crumbles for the ground beef. I've never done it with those, but we're going to try it. When I make it with ground beef and the eggplant, it is super duper delicious. It's a great meal to have in the summer when you have fresh eggplant, homegrown eggplant. I don't have homegrown. I got these at the 99-cent store today. I got two for 99 cents. I think that I'm only going to need one, but just in case I have the other one ready, in case I need more than one. So what you're going to need is eggplant, sliced, peeled and sliced into little, like about ½ inch wedges, circles. You're going to need some onion. This is about 3/4 of an onion, chopped, a white one. I chopped some celery. This is, I don't know, 3 or 4 stalks of celery. These are the beautiful, beautiful can of Rite Aid tomatoes and a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce from Rite Aid. You won't need the whole can of tomatoes, depending on how it goes. I might use the whole can. If it looks like it won't take too much to just finish it off and put the rest of the can in, I'll just go ahead and do it rather than have to have half of a can sitting around. If I don't use it and I do end up with half a can, I'll put it in the freezer or something like that. So the first thing you're going to do is put some oil in your pan and get it heated. If you were using ground beef, you would not need to do this, but this stuff needs some help. It needs a little bit of oil because it does not have a lot of fat in it, and it needs some oil. So I'm going to start by sauteing my celery and onions. If you were using ground beef, you would go ahead and saute your ground beef with the celery and onions. But the grillers don't take much to complete, so that's why I won't be doing that. So I will be stirring this around. Okay, so I've got that in the pan. I'll be cooking that till it's tender, about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and then I will add the crumbles. For spices, I have about a teaspoon of onion powder and about a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. I have about 1/4 of a teaspoon of Greek seasoning. I think you should use Italian seasoning. That's what the recipe calls for, but I don't have Italian, so I'm just using Greek because Greece and Italy are kind of close together. Why not? I'm also using about a teaspoon of Montreal steak seasoning mix. And that looks like this. Just because I don't have the Italian, so I'm going to see if I mix all that together. It'll be kind of like Italian. So, yeah. It's real scientific around here. So, we're just going to stir this up and let this cook, and then I'll come back and show you how it's all looking. Alright, so the onion and the celery have been sauteing for about 7 or 8 minutes, and I wanted to let you know that I also put in about 3 stalks of green onion that was in my refrigerator that was on its last leg, so I wanted to get that used up, so I just put in some green onion. If you got it, you can put it in. If you don't, you don't have to put it in. So I took the crumbles out of the bag, and this is only about 9 ounces. The bag is 12 ounces, but I didn't use the whole bag because I might need some to make tacos with, so I just saved a little bit out, and I made tacos with it last night, and so I would say this is only about 9 ounces. Even if I was making this with ground beef, I wouldn't use a whole pound just because, I don't know, I just like to stretch it. If I had it with ground beef, I would use ½ of a pound, and then I would make it again a different time with the other ½ pound, because the onions and the celery really stretch it far. So what you do is you just saute this up, and then I'm going to add the tomato sauce and the tomatoes and put the eggplant on top, and I'll show you all that. And let this cook up a little bit. Okay, so this is cooking up really nicely. So as I was cooking it up, I was thinking, you know what would be really good is if I had some mushrooms that were on their last leg and needed to be used up. So I went rummaging around in the vegetable drawer because I thought I had some, but I didn't have any. But I found some cabbage that was left over from corned beef and cabbage. It was just a little tiny wedge. And I just shredded it up, and I'm just going to throw that in here just because what else am I going to use it with? I don't know. So I'm just going to put it in here. It would have been better if I would have started out with it, sauteing it with the celery and onions. But that didn't happen, but that's okay. So I'm just going to add it now. It just adds some more vegetables, so it can't hurt it. It's just a little bit, so it won't be an overpowering taste. Just a little bit of shredded cabbage. So now I'm going to let that cook a little bit more and let that cabbage cook down. And then we'll be ready to do the rest. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so that is cooking up so nicely. I love these crumbles. They do cook up good. They're a little bit on the soggy side, but if you just keep cooking them and let them get a little bit crispy, they're very, very close to ground beef, especially when you've got a lot of other stuff going on. It's really good. This is a really good recipe too. It's got a lot of good vegetables in it. So I'm going to add the can of tomato sauce. Now I'm going to put a little bit of water in there because I want to get all that tomatoey goodness. I'm going to put my seasonings in. I'm going to put some canned tomatoes in it. About a half a can. Maybe more. I'll have to see what all that does. And I'm going to try to do this without crashing my camera. Oh yeah, it smells so good. So I mix all this up. Oh yeah, I'll just go ahead and add the tomatoes. It is not too tomatoey at all. So I think that I can do that. I'll add a few. See how that goes. See, there's only a spoonful. You might as well add it all. So mix all that up. And now's when you do the eggplant. Okay, so you place the eggplant on top, all around it. Uh-oh, I don't have my lid. So I'm going to put the eggplant on top and go dig up my lid and come back and show you that. Alright, so I put the eggplant all on top. I went ahead and just cut up the other one and put it on there because it was only like, there was 1/3 that wasn't covered. So I just put it all on there because what are you going to do with half of an eggplant? So I just put it on there. So now it's boiling and bubbling. So I'm going to turn the heat down low. I'm going to cover it with a lid. Hi. And then after it's going to simmer for about 30 minutes. The eggplant will get soft and tender. And then after it gets soft and tender, I will sprinkle cheese on top and that will melt and then it'll be absolutely fabulous. And I'll show that to you when it's all done. But right now, my husband, as soon as he gets home, we'll go for a 3-mile walk and then we'll come back and have dinner. I have steamed broccoli. I'm going to steam some broccoli and asparagus to go with it. And I'm also going to make brown rice to go with it. And we will see you when dinner is done. Alright, we're back from our walk. This has been steaming on low for about 20 to 25 minutes and then I turned the burner off while we walked. And now I'm going to cover it with cheese. So this is not vegan, obviously, because this is regular cheese, but if you have vegan cheese, you could do that, and it would be completely vegan meal. But today, I'm just using what I got, which is the Sargento cheese. Oops. And I'm going to put the lid back on, and that will melt, and it'll be ready in about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to steam up the broccoli and carrots and get the rice going. Yeah, look at this big hot mess I got going on. So I will show it to you when it's all plated up. Alright, here it is, the eggplant stuff on the plate. It looks and smells really good. We've got brown rice to go with it and steamed broccoli and carrots. And thanks so much for watching Meatless Monday. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.